It's great to be here. I'm actually here from Sweden, and Errol told me there's gonna be an open source event. I love open source, so what's better than AI and open source? It's clear that AI is going to transform pretty much everything, so I wanted to do something even more ambitious. And I'm on a mission now, as I see, to unlock human creativity at a very early company, which is my second one I'm building. And that actually came out of this project. How many people have heard about something called GPTEngineer here? Some people, cool. So I built this tool internally to automate myself so I could retire as a software engineer and as CTO. And then I put it out as a tweet and as the world's most active and popular code generation project. So what GPTEngineer allows you to do is to play around with asking AI to create software. So I'm going to ask GPTEngineer to create a community website. And then what it will do under the hood is zoom in. Let me know if I should slow down, zoom in, whatever. What it will do if I have Wi-Fi, which it might have, is to call a large language model and to wrap that into a lot of code, maybe retry if the code doesn't work and so on, and create a community. And while this is running, so I mean, this is maybe not so new to most people, but when this is running, I'll just explain what we found in the community building this. It's that these AI systems, these LLM-based agent systems, they don't work 100%. So what you want to do is to tackle problems where you can instantly see if they are behaving as you want. And this, I think, is a good example. Building a simple website. And then once this is done, you're not happy with the first version of anything you do as a human either. So you want to do small changes to it. And I can't even promise that this is going to work. But if you apply this in the right way, we are taking away, with the right user interface, we are replacing the simple things that engineers do today, software engineers do today. And we're moving towards a world which I think is very inspiring, and it's a world where anyone can build software. And the reason I build software is because I want to express some creativity, and I think that's what we're going to see much more as this technology comes into play. What's the conclusion out of this? Well, since we saw that, okay, there's a lot of people building software engineering with AI, but there is a unique perspective here on focusing on the simple tasks and then building it out. We started, me and previous coworkers, we started a very, very ambitious company in all of this. At the same time, I was like, okay, are we going to do this open source? If we're building a company that is all about letting anyone build, so not just building dev tools, then the case for doing it open source is not so strong. So the way we approach this, and I'm enjoying the passion of building open source as well, is that we have a startup that is commercial and that funds an open source community that we have a synergy with. So the open source community mission is to support Codegen builders. And it embodies the ethos of actually just creating value for everyone and doing everything open and free. So you don't have this trade-off, should you make everything open source or free or not? While as what the startup does is to build a separate technology that is not yet open source. And it looks like this. Question, how do you do both open source and the commercial upside? And I'll go from this into a bit more about the community, but first, what product are we building? So as I mentioned, the first place to start when you're creating a fully autonomous software engineer that does everything us human software engineers can do, which I know will be possible, is to start with the UI. we have a closed waitlist product that people have tried, and if you go in and you look at what people think, it's generally very favorable people using it. It lets you ask for anything you want to build. Connect it to how developers like to work, which is through GitHub and a Git repository, so that both non-technical people can ask for changes to your application, and the technical people can develop it as they are used to. And this enables any founder, CEO that wants to do quick changes, or product managers, designers, to do changes while developers can maintain it just like they want to. I'll show a quick video on the product that we are building. So here someone is asking for a quick interactive application, and this is a toy example, a game. I can show you some examples that are more interesting for real software products. But again, what's interesting here is that the code is available just like it is for as it was built with only humans. And I think here is a fun example where someone has built a cryptocurrency CoinMarketCap clone, connecting to the actual APIs of the live code and going through a lot of iterations by just asking our product in natural language. So you can actually use this here. So that's about the product that we are building, and this is quickly evolving. We have a very strong team over in Europe. What is the community doing? So as I mentioned, this is how we are doing both the open source and the commercial product. And the mission is to support Codegen builders. And us Codegen builders, ourselves and everyone else, both from academia and in the industry, have these problems that you are solving a very hard technical problem, and you have a lot of sub-problems, and there are many ways to evaluate. And you need to build your software, you need to build your product, and evaluating takes a lot of time unless someone has built out very simple infrastructure for this, so that you can compare how the different code generation agents, or AI systems, compare on different tasks, and what should you use where. And if you have very strong technology, everyone wants to show that you have strong, very good technology in a way that can be verified objectively. So these are the problems that a community, which, I mean, I'm on the board of the community, I'm board of the startup, but they are two separate entities, are addressing. And the focus is for the community right now is to make it easy to evaluate agents. I'll show you quickly what that looks like. So here we have an abstraction that makes it very easy for a developer that's building a system for writing code to expose their capabilities by just wrapping it into an abstraction. This is too much for non-technical people, but it's showing how simple that is. And then once you have done so, you run one command, and then here we are comparing an external code generation agent on an evaluation, on a benchmark, to see how does this specific agent perform on this specific benchmark. And this community effort is very much in the early stages. As I mentioned, we have a ton of active contributions. And specifically on benchmarking, we have done a lot of early work on making it possible to run different benchmarks for any agent. But we are looking to actually have someone who is both technical and the leader to take lead as a lead maintainer in the open source community, which is again separate from the startup. So if you know someone who you know is passionate about this field and competent and the leader, please connect with me and let me know. So I think that's high level what I wanted to talk about. I put together a link for you to be able to reach out, and you can add me on LinkedIn, I think, with this QR code. And if you want early access to the tool I mentioned, you can see the link to signing up on my profiles. And I don't think creating a slide like this is the most easiest thing. So actually, I made this slide with our tools. I just wrote what I wanted, and I got this slide here. Yeah.
Nice.
That's it for me. So if you have any questions, happy to answer. And if you want to see a live demo during 2 minutes.